Welcome back. So in this video, we'll see the features of Hibernate. So the Hibernate having the features like HQL, caching, lazy loading, criteria, locking, connection pools, and filters. So let me explain it one by one. So HQL. HQL is the Hibernate query language. It is the open query language of Hibernate. Other overrun tool doesn't have it. The HQL looks like SQL only. So a programmer is given to know a new query language. HQL is a database independent and SQL is a database dependent. By writing HQL queries, we can make our application as a database independent. HQL query looks like SQL query only, but in place of column name, we write variable names, and in place of table name, we write the Java class name. I'll show you later how to write the HQL queries in our later videos. So next is caching. Caching is a mechanism which improves the performance of an application. Caching mechanism reduces the number of trips between the Java application and databases. Hibernate maintains two levels of caching. When an application wants some data from database, then Hibernate first verifies the data in level 1 cache. If exists data in level 1 cache, then data is loaded from level 1 cache only. If not exist in the level 1 cache, then Hibernate enters into the level 2 cache. If found, then data level 2 cache to level 1 cache, and then from level 1 to the it's loaded into the our application. If not found in the second level cache, then Hibernate goes to the database and reads from the database into the level 2 and then copies to level 1 and then returns the data to our application. Right. So next is the lazy loading. This lazy loading is a very important feature of Hibernate. In lazy loading, instead of going to either cache or DB, Hibernate creates a proxy object and returns proxy object to the application. When application calls a proxy for first time, then proxy enters into the cache. If not, then into database. Reads the object from DB. If the application doesn't call proxy, then proxy doesn't enter into either cache or database. With lazy loading, Hibernate reduces the unnecessary trips to the database to improve performance. Hibernate is already given early loading also. In this, Hibernate immediately enters into the cache, if not into database, for loading the object or reading the object. A problem is in early loading is if application doesn't call an object to use its data, then a trip is wasted between application and databases. So next is our criteria. Most of the cases, we select the data from tables in Java projects. If the query to select the data in not a tuned query, then the data will be selected slowly from the database. Its effects on the performance. So being a Java programmer, creating a tuned queries will increase the burden on the programmer. To reduce the burden, Hibernate introduced the criteria API, which internally prepares a tuned query and select the data fastly from databases. With this criteria API also, Hibernate improves the performance of an application. So it's a very good features. So next is locking. Multiple transactions can work on the same data simultaneously. If two transactions are working simultaneously on same data, then there is a chance of overriding the data to another transaction. In order to prevent a clash between two transactions, Hibernate has provided the locking mechanism. Hibernate is provided two types of locking: optimistic locking and permissive locking. So next point is connection code. So Hibernate by default comes with a built-in connection pool. The built-in connection pool is used by the testing Hibernate application under development mode. Built-in connection pool means by without writing explicitly any connection pool logic, Hibernate itself create a connection pool. Apart from built-in connection pool, we can use a third-party connection pool or a server-side connection pool in real-time application in Hibernate. So next is filter. In an application, sometimes we want to execute the same query with one condition, with multiple condition, and without condition, etc. etc. Right? So instead of construct the same query for many times, Hibernate has introduced a filter mechanism. With Hibernate filters, the conditions and the query both are separately defined. If the query wants the condition to retrieve the data, then we can enable the filter, and if the query wants to retrieve the data without condition, then we disable the filters. So this is all about the features of Hibernate. So in next video, we'll see what is the framework and why we really need a framework. Okay, see you in the next video. Thank you.